And we are back. Episode 49, Season 2, Drop the Green.
Yeah.
You excited?
Yeah, I am. We got a lot
to... You sound so excited. I don't know if I can continue.
Sorry, I mean, it's been a long day for me. Yeah. I have to like move stuff. And,
yeah. You know, go golf.
No,
I feel you.
That would be a long day for anybody. Wouldn't it?
Everyone feels for you.
Okay. Good.
So let's just move right on. As always, we're going to dedicate this episode to somebody. This week's overview is going to be on infield grass. I'm pumped.
Boo.
I'm pumped. We're going to recap Texas, talk about who stood out with our head-to-heads, get into some drop the green bets. Those are looking lovely. Do some Kansas predictions, and we will close with the choose who zone.
Yes, we will.
As always, my name is Austin.
My name's Spencer.
Let's drop the green.
In the land of shining cold, back down that valley where the roosters crow, and a man defends his own. Stand alone in the land of shining cold, back down that valley where the roosters crow, and a man's defense is on. I got no problems if I stand alone.
All right, so straight into our dedications here. Kind of another weird number. I wanted to throw out, when I thought of 49, I thought of Ken Schrader in the Schwann's car.
Okay.
If anyone remembers that. So, honorable mention.
Yeah.
Neither one of us did him. But that is what I thought of immediately. But we did Ken Schrader.
We did do Ken
for 36.
Yep.
I believe. So, kind of wanted to lay off it.
Go back and watch that episode if you haven't.
Yeah, please. Give us 24 views.
Yeah.
Shout out to our number one fan. But, Spence, why don't you start us off?
Yeah.
Because yours is very interesting to me.
Is it?
Yeah. No, this is someone I saw race.
That's right.
There we go. Same team as the Kenny Schrader 49 car, too.
Yes, it is. Look at that. My number 49 is going to be a woman, and her name is Shawna Robinson.
There you go.
Apparently, I've been messing up her name all day. All day, every day. But she raced in 8 Cup Series races for the number a little bit over, not just the 49 team, but she had a couple other races. Raced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times in the 49 car. 4 times in the 84 and 1 time in the 99 at Daytona. So she is one of 16 women to ever compete in a NASCAR sanctioned event, which is pretty impressive. Very impressive. Yeah. She is one of 3 to race in the 500.
Wow.
Can you name the other 2?
Janet Guthrie and Danica Patrick?
It is. Wow.
Boom.
Good job. Great job. She began racing semi-tractors.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Okay.
That is exactly what I read.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that like the big rig?
I would assume, right?
Okay.
Semi-tractors? So. Yeah. Okay. She had 30 victories. I don't know if she's...
Oh, my God.
I don't know if they're like more drag race type, like if there's...
I mean, they used to have like series, especially up north, where it's like these big... like cab over Peterbilt.
Yes, I believe that's what it is.
And they would like race on. There's videos of them racing on Bristol and stuff. It's absurd.
Yeah. So she had 30y victories in that.
Wow.
So she knows how to drive.
She would kill in the next gen car.
Yeah,
because it drives like a dump truck.
It does.
Wow.
She had 30 victories in that, and then moved to a series called GATR Truck Series.
Okay. Natural progression, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it works.
That's where everybody goes from.
Yes, from semi-tractor racing. Yeah. And she was Rookie of the Year in '84.
Okay.
4 years later, she started racing Dash Series for
Goodies Dash.
Yep, Goodies Dash. So I believe that would be like an ARCA series, right? Or
Kind of.
like
They were
right
like
below
little. It was weird. It was a weird time. But they were kind of their own little thing.
Okay.
I think they had little 4-cylinders in them. I could be wrong on that. But they were small cars.
But they're stock cars.
They're stock cars.
Yes.
Yeah. Michael Waltrip was like a god.
What? Of course
in the
he
Dash
was.
series.
Yeah.
Just ran
So she actually won 3 races in the Dash series.
Okay.
Yeah. Won her first one in '88. That same year that she started in them. Won at Asheville. The reason I wrote this down is because it's a dirt track. Asheville Weaverville Speedway, dirt track. She won there. She started 13th in that race. Ended up winning. Yeah, so she was
ripping the top.
She was making some moves.
Making some hay.
Making some moves. Was the first woman to win a pole. She won a pole in the Dash Series at the I-95 Speedway.
Okay.
And from there, so that was 88. I think she won the pole in 90, somewhere in there. And then she got a ride in the Busch Series in 91 and raced, looks to be 5 races for Huffman Racing in the 77. Raced one more that year for another team. And then kind of had a sporadic career jumping around in 92. She raced a handful of races. Never cracked the top 10. In 93, she raced another handful of races, with her best being 14th at Bristol. So not bad. Not bad.
Not an easy place to drive either.
Not an easy place to drive. And also, I think we have to remember the Busch Series was different then. Like, this is 93.
Yeah,
like, so you're driving around there being good.
With, what's his name? Last week's Choose Whozo.
Oh yeah.
You don't remember either.
I don't even remember his name. Bone.
It was a weird last name. Yeah.
BOWN. What was his first name? Sorry.
Chuck or something.
Chuck Bone.
Chuck?
Yeah, I think it was Chuck Bone. It may have been. I don't know. Okay, so
we learned nothing.
This is where it gets good. In 94 in the Busch Series, she is racing the 46 Chevy, and she races, I think, 11 races and DQ'd 7 of them. So,
like, did not qualify, or
no, like,
was
disqualified? Did not qualify.
Okay, so she attempted it.
She attempted it, did not make the race.
Go home.
Yeah, go home.
Okay.
But that same year, she did get her first top 10 at the Glen. Would you have guessed that?
I would not have guessed that.
The Glen.
No.
Gets her first top 10 at the Glen.
Maybe the semi-tractor series had some...
Maybe so. They had some road courses on the schedule.
I don't know anything about that series.
95, she raced 4 races. 01, she raced for Michael Waltrip Racing. Raced 3 races in the Dash Series. Texas, Nashville, Talladega. Finished 43rd at Nashville. 99 is where she raced her first Cup race. Let me make sure. No. 95 is when she raced her first Cup race, but she only raced at Talladega. Did not qualify. So she didn't race the race.
Yeah. That's most likely on the car.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's Talladega Claiborne Racing, number 99.
I don't know.
So probably on the car.
Yeah. What can she do besides hold it wide open?
Yeah, you can't do anything. Did not qualify. 2001, she gives it another shot at what looks like Auto Club. She didn't qualify for. Raced Michigan, made that race, finished 34th. Tried at Chicago and Indy and didn't qualify for those. And then in 2002 in the Cup Series, this car right here, number 49 for BAM Racing, finished 24th in Daytona, 42nd in Las Vegas, 34th at Atlanta, 42 at Darlington, Texas 36th, DQ'd at Talladega. DNQ'd, sorry. DNQ'd. And then raced at Fontana again, 42nd, and then the Daytona in the spring for 40th. So, big career. I think it paved the way for women in the sport. It showed that you can compete and you can win some poles. She won several poles, never won a race. Of course, she only ran 8 races in 2002 and stuff like that. And BAM Racing, 49 car.
Right. What'd you expect?
What do you expect? But she did it. and paved the way easily for, I feel like, people like Danica and come before. And are we going to bring up the pit stop?
I think I have on another episode already. So
okay, well,
I hate to.
If you have listened to that episode and you know, Miss Robinson here ran a truck.
Yeah,
for
and
a
let
while.
me preface this by saying, from your overview or from your dedication, I didn't realize how long she had been racing.
Yeah, she's been racing a while.
When I watched this, she had been racing for a while.
Okay.
Right? So like I thought she was fresh enough coming on the scene.
Yeah.
Not the case.
No.
But she was in a truck at Texas, and they had an all-female pit crew.
Yeah.
And I remember it because we were there, and we had like the hero card.
Yeah.
There's all these pretty good-looking women.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, of course.
Like, you would think not, because like pit crew, but like they went for looks.
Yes.
Not skill. Okay. Just saying. So they, you can look up the video. It's on YouTube, but they did a 2-tire pit stop, and it took about 40 seconds.
And they were what were they running 2-tire stops in? Probably 7 seconds at that point.
Yeah. Less than 40.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
No,
now
to compare.
to compare because now you can do a 4-tire.
Yeah, probably
change.
7. 7 would have been acceptable.
Especially if
10.
it's
10
left sides. Left sides, you're.
I think it's just
you would
right sides.
Yeah, you would never change just left sides, probably.
Just right sides.
But
it happened.
yeah,
But it was a good looking truck. I remember the truck was good. I remember I wish I still had somewhere in all of our boxes of shit.
yeah, that you could find.
There's a hero car. It's like her, the truck, and then the whole pit crew. It was a big deal. Like I said, they were from what I remember being so young. I was like, man, it was pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty good looking women.
Yeah,
you know.
You didn't call one of them.
No,
You didn't get any of their numbers.
No, I didn't have a phone.
Oh,
you
didn't get Jeff to get their numbers.
Yeah, I was like, here's my landline. Because it's 2002.
Call me at home.
After the hours of 7 p.m.
Yeah,
because it's cheaper.
And ask for Alston.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, from everything I've heard about her, really, I'm legitimately, like you listen to podcasts. Very good racer, very good person too. There's other women drivers that people do not say that about.
100%.
Like a Danica Patrick.
Yeah.
So
good IndyCar driver.
She's all right, but so I do think that's a good dedication. She deserves a little
I think we got to shine some light on these.
Agree.
And
she deserves a little dedication.
And with the numbers that we have, I mean, I think it's a perfect opportunity to be able to get in there and show some good fortune to these women that did it the hard way.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't get anything handed to her. Never.
Which is crazy because like today they'd be like, oh, take this top ride or whatever, and like
if you showed any talent,
probably,
I mean, we've seen there's women in ARCA right now. What's her name? The Canes girl.
Oh, Tony. She has a full-time truck ride.
She has a full-time truck ride. That's right. Yeah. So a
Tricon truck.
That's right.
And like not exactly lighting the world on fire.
No.
And Shawna, honestly, at that time was probably harder for her.
Yeah, in the Busch series.
Yeah.
At the Glen?
But just at that time, like...
Yeah.
Like, probably nobody was interested.
Completely male-dominated.
Yeah.
Like, there's not even women working as secretaries in these...
Just a different time.
Yes.
And so, she had to have been good to get as far as she did.
Yep.
So... But her pit crew choices, maybe not the best.
Rough.
Like, and I'm not saying I can be on a pit crew either, right?
No, but, I mean... Me and you could probably change a tire after 40 seconds, especially 2 tires. If you could carry a tire, I would worry about you carrying one.
Well, I wouldn't be the tire carrier. I'd be the.
Yeah, you would be the. Yeah, that would be you.
Blow that picture up so we can get done here.
All right.
I cheated.
You did cheat.
I cheated,
but I like it. I think everybody will enjoy this as well.
I think if you talk about, so obviously I'm doing 49 Jonathan Davenport.
Yep.
Dirt racer, right?
Dirt racer.
So of course he has a nickname.
He does.
Do you know what it is?
No, Newport.
That's Jimmy Owens.
Okay,
yeah.
Dang it.
No.
I should know it. I should know it though.
It's a dumb one.
Okay.
I don't like it.
Okay. What
Jonathan
is it?
Superman Davenport.
Okay, yeah, that's bad. That's
so
bad.
What that and
is he a Superman?
I mean, I'll convince you of it by the end of this.
That's what I like to hear.
He it's really good when you think about how these dirt guys make money, I'm going on a tangent that I didn't expect here, but
That's okay.
When you think about how these dirt guys make money, it's like merchandise, right?
Yeah.
And if you go by the name Superman, you can make all these shirts of like Superman. And you were a kid once, like
yes.
If your parents
still love superheroes.
If your parents, I know, I forgot how tragic that is.
Yeah.
But if your parents dragged you to a dirt race, right? And there's a T-shirt that's got Superman on it,
you're gonna buy it. Yeah.
and you're gonna be like, "Mom, Dad, please, right?" So it's pretty smart marketing. But so Jonathan Davenport did race some NASCAR races. So
Okay.
So we'll get there. But born October 31st, 1983, Blairsville, Georgia.
Oh, Georgia boy.
Georgia boy. So grew up racing go-karts. Actually won his first ever go-kart race.
Okay.
I mean, so you knew
Yeah.
this was going to be something. Went into something called mini stocks on dirt, and then kind of gravitated towards asphalt legends.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar.
I'm very familiar
Used
with
to be the legends driver.
I am.
iRacing is glad that you have logged off.
I mean, yeah. And I'm honestly hoping to get my career back after I get started working here soon because I'll have more time, and I cannot wait.
I think that's the opposite of what you think it's going to be. When you start working full time, you will not have time.
I think I would definitely will.
Okay.
I think I definitely will.
We'll check back on that one.
Okay.
But anyway.
When I'm top in the series
Yeah,
again.
we'll check back. But anyway, so he started racing legends. Was actually racing against Joey Logano at the time.
No way. In Asphalt Legends?
Yes. So think
Whooping
about
him?
it. I think they were pretty neck and neck. I mean, I couldn't pull stat to stat, but the only reason I know this is when he came to run NASCAR, which we'll talk about later, they asked Joey Logano, they're like, what's it like racing against Jonathan Davenport now? Because y'all took two different career paths, and like now you're back racing, but you used to race together in Legends. And it was like Joey was one of the big Legends kids, you know, because he was like on a
Jonathan Davenport was 25, and then
Joey's so he would
15.
have been what 83 9 he would have been 13.
Okay, never mind. I'm sorry.
And Joey was probably like 10 with a fake birth certificate, saying he was 13. Right,
pulled a Kyle Busch on
right,
us. Yeah.
exactly. And so they used to race each other, and I'm sure they ran into each other. Joey actually lived in Atlanta back at that time. He was from Connecticut. They moved to Atlanta. Yeah. A lot of tangents here, and we're only on my second bullet point.
I know.
But anyway, so that was pretty cool. That was kind of his dream, was to do asphalt racing and kind of work up through that series. Legends, bandos, late models, kind of like that. But from 96 until like 2001, he won 100 Legends races.
Oh my God.
2 regional championships and a Georgia state championship.
Okay.
He wasn't no slouch.
Good.
He wasn't no slouch.
It was good.
He ends up going back to dirt. So something with Davenport here, and I'm not saying he was like broke and all that stuff, like, but didn't have like big money, right?
Yeah.
To keep going to the asphalt side, which does take money or just like ridiculous talent. He kind of hit that weird time where there wasn't really people hiring you for talent. Just a weird thing. But so ends up going back to dirt, racing a little bit there. And then gets paired with Kevin Rumley in 2009. So if you don't know that name, Kevin Rumley is like an engineer / consultant with Longhorn Chassis. So when Kyle Larson races dirt late models, he races that number 6 car.
Yep.
That's owned by Kevin Rumley.
Okay.
Kevin Rumley is like the super mad scientist genius of dirt late model racing.
Okay.
So he pairs up with Jonathan Davenport. And immediately they win World of Outlaw races, Lucas Oil races, and all that. So, and a lot of that is Kevin Rumley's pretty smart.
Yeah.
But also, you got to be a wheelman to drive what Kevin Rumley contrapts together. Right? So it's there's people that have gotten Rumley cars and done decent, but like not won. But the people that can get in one and win, it's like the best of both worlds, right? Like Rick Hendrick is going to hire a Kyle Larson because Kyle Larson deserves to be in the best car. Same thing here.
Yeah.
So 2012, he goes full-time in Lucas Oil, wins Rookie of the Year. Okay, so this is kind of like his big break. Once again, he's still pretty young here. He's like, 30 or so. He kind of tries to go towards that NASCAR route. He runs a NASCAR truck at Martinsville, D&Qs.
Oh.
Shawna Robinson style,
yeah.
right? Doesn't
partly on the truck, probably.
Probably, yeah. Not a great team. Just doesn't pursue it from there. So kind of goes back to Kevin Rumley. These are like really part-time efforts. I mean, Kevin Rumley's not a millionaire. He's just brilliant, right? So 2015, they start their season in Lucas Oil, just going to be part-time. Well, they have so much success that they just, boom, all the chips in, we'll go full-time. They win the championship.
Let's go.
So 2015, he wins his first ever Lucas Oil championship. Once again, this is like not a full staff team. This is just like Kevin Rumley's like, I have ideas. I consult for Longhorn. You know, like I'm not really set up to do a full time. I don't have the guys to travel the country to do this. Of course. But they do it because that's how good he was. And that's how many races they won. So he kind of goes from there. After that, that's when he goes to Landers Racing in the 49 car, which you see here on the screen. Mm-hmm. I'm sure if you think of the 49, you think of that white car.
Yeah.
This year, he changed to like this black and orange one.
I think it looks good.
It looks amazing. Yeah. I agree with you. But
the black one looks great.
Yeah. And he ran that white one for so long, the white with the blue.
Yes.
So nice to change it up. But this is kind of like the, Nutrient Ag Solutions, cool sponsor, cool dude.
Really cool sponsor. I think the sponsor of this is honestly crazy good. And because this was they've sponsored a couple cup races.
Well, that's what kind of got him to cup,
that
right?
cup. Yeah. Okay.
And so, which is huge. And Nutrient,
and they have the money to do.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, as someone who worked for an ag distributor at one time, I worked for the number 2 ag distributor in the country, right? Nutrient is the number 1 ag distributor. Nutrient was twice as big as us.
God.
And we were number 2.
So you guys almost couldn't hold a candle to them. How big they were.
They're huge. They're huge, and they would buy other small companies, right? So Nutrient's a really good company, huge company on the ag side, and I was on the other side of it too, on the turf side. But anyway, really good sponsor, keeps them going. Really good team. Ends up winning the Lucas Oil Championship again in 18 and 19 in this 49 car. Right,
back to back.
So it's legitimate, right? You wanted him with Kevin Rumley, and everyone's like, "Oh, maybe it was him." No, you go to this guy. Yeah. You win championships there too. So
3-time Lucas Oil champion.
3-time Lucas Oil champion. So what I really want to talk about here, and I'll close on a few things. You can't talk about Jonathan Davenport without talking about his 2022 season.
Okay.
So you talk about all these races. These guys will go full time in like Lucas Oil, but they'll still run like World of Outlaw races. They'll still run like XR Super Series, stuff like that. They'll go chase money at other races when they can, when the schedule allows it. So in 2022, his race winnings were over $2 million.
Whoa!
His race winnings were over $2 million.
Whoa!
So people that think like dirt's not a big deal, there's no money in it, like it's just a bunch of like plumbers and farmers going out there, like this is no BS.
That's a lot of money.
Make a living. Usually, and we don't know how his deal is, but usually when you're racing something like dirt, it's like a 50-50, right? So the owner gets 50%, driver gets 50%. I mean, you're the one wheeling it around. I mean, look at how he's driving right now. I mean, you deserve 50%,
yeah,
right?
You do.
So you would assume he got close to $1 million, if not $1 million. So he's making a pretty good living, and could he have went NASCAR? Maybe, I don't know. But, I mean, he's not paying a dime to be in this car.
Nope. Might as well stay where you're at.
Might as well stay where you're at. So, I have to talk about that. One big thing, one little caveat to that is that year they did do a $1 million race at Eldora.
And he won.
And he won it.
Okay.
But when you have a $1 million race at Eldora, everybody and their mother with a super late model is going to be there, right? Because just to start that race.
It's like the Chili Bowl.
Right. It's like the Chili Bowl, exactly. Because just to start that race is going to be tens of thousands of dollars.
You have to be not at that point, but you have to be SEBO. You have to be all these other top dudes,
top guys,
in the sport.
top ride, stay clean all through the weekend or whatever it is. So that did help.
Because if you don't know anything about dirt, these races are so hard to make.
Oh yeah.
If you know how the All-Star format's going to be and how it kind of was last year, that's what they do week in and week out with these heat races, qualifiers, and you have to put yourself in a position every single week to just make the heat race, the A main.
To qualify well, then do a good heat race. If you don't do a good heat race,
if you're starting in the back, if you're starting in the back of an A main, I can guarantee you're probably not going to win.
No, you're going to have to really rip it. Hope it goes green. I mean, a lot of things have to be dominant in dirt. It's absurd to think about. Yeah, really, week in, week out, to transfer through heats, do well. I mean, it's crazy to think about. So that's super impressive. And so obviously he got that $1 million from Eldora, but he pieced together another $1 million with 10,000 to win, 20,000.
Yeah,
to win,
that's the other thing.
100,000. You know what I mean? Like you're piecing them together.
You are not winning $100,000 every single race. It's not like he only won 10 more races and won $100,000 every race. He probably won 45 races.
Yeah, and a big race like in dirt late models would be like $30,000-$40,000 to win.
Yes,
right. And that's not to diminish it. It's just that like they race so much, right?
Yeah.
So Lucas Oil can have like 3 races in a row, and it might pay 10, 15, 50.
Yep.
If you're Jonathan Davenport in 2022, you probably won them all.
Yeah.
He was unsolvable that year. So I think that's really important to talk about. 2023, of course, we have Bristol Dirt. He ends up getting with Nutrien, right? He gets a chance to run a Spire truck.
Ooh.
And a Colleague Cup car.
No way.
Sponsored by Nutrien.
Yeah.
Right. Finishes 14th in the truck and finishes 36th in the Bristol Dirt Cup car.
Okay.
What I can only imagine is the whole time Jonathan Davenport is driving is like,
why am I not
what is this?
Yeah.
What is this?
Why am I not on a late model?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they race the late models on there, and it's a 10-time better race.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I went in like 2022, maybe?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
That sounds right.
I went up there. They were racing World of Outlaws late models and sprint cars in the same night. Kyle Larson did double duty, but dude, I'm telling you, amazing.
Yeah.
Like it made me. I already was never going to see a cup race at Bristol Dirt, but after I saw that, I was like, no.
Yeah.
Because it's just
too good.
it's insulting.
Yeah.
It's insulting. So I could only imagine Jonathan Davenport was insulted, or that's what I like to think.
Of course.
So that was 2023. Also in 2023, if you remember the SRX series that Tony Stewart had.
I do.
He was invited to come do that in those goofy looking cars with the big spoiler. Lucas Oil Raceway in Knoxville. Or no, I think it's in Indiana. I don't know exactly. But it's a dirt track. He won.
Of course
He won one. He ran one SRX race. He won it. And that's against Tony Stewart. Yeah. Whoever else was in that series.
So many
Elio,
guys. Yeah.
Tony Kanaan. Whoever was in that series.
Chase Elliott could have been there.
Maybe.
Kevin could have been there.
Anybody.
Probably,
Any of those guys. But I just want to close up with saying very good.
Very good.
Eldora God. So you got the World 100, which is a crown jewel, 100 lap race. He's won that 5 times.
Wow.
You've got the Dream, which is another Eldora crown jewel. He's won that 3 times.
Yeah.
And he won the Eldora Million. 75 Lucas Oil wins. 75. World of Outlaws, he's never raced full time. He's only raced about 60 World of Outlaw races in his career. He's won 10 of them.
God, what a win percentage.
So, but he is a NASCAR guy. He's ran a couple of NASCAR races.
Yeah.
Knows Joey Logano.
So does Corey LaJoy. Where does that get you?
But,
apparently, knowing Joey Logano is not the route to go if you want to be full time in the Cup Series.
But you think about it as you're pulling that down. I just want to say one more thing. You think about it. There's guys in the Cup Series that are not making probably what he's making to run Lucas Oil Dirt.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I
think about Riley Herbst. That's more or less paying for his ride. And I mean, Jonathan Davenport lives on a giant farm in South Carolina.
Yeah.
That he's paid for with dirt money.
Yeah.
So I think people just need to consider that.
For sure. I think you are totally right.
Let me see your Mansour. Yeah. Nice. Wrong on my mic. I dropped mine somewhere.
Oh my God.
So this week on the overview, I wanted to make this pretty quick, but I don't know if you watched the Xfinity race.
I watched highlights of the Xfinity race.
So I didn't watch it all. Obviously watched the Cup race, but there was a lot of talk about the grass.
Yes.
And anytime a car gets in the grass, people are like, this grass is terrible. Make it artificial turf. Charlotte is artificial turf. But really what it is these cars are so low.
And the reason they're mad about it is because it keeps tearing their car up.
Right. Especially when it rains.
You do you literally lose it in the tri-oval, whatever it is. You go into the grass, and then your day's over. Even though you didn't touch anything but what's under you.
Yeah, but the grass.
But the grass. And you
so where
do
you feel, okay, just off that point alone, do you think it's fair that spinning through the grass can absolutely destroy your day?
No, No, I think it's 50-50. Like, it should definitely not be encouraged. Like, you shouldn't be able to go through there almost unscathed, per se.
Because there should be a penalty.
There should be a penalty for sure, and not just losing spots. I mean, anywhere else on the track, you would have hit the inside wall and probably ended your day anyway. So, doing it on the front stretch doesn't make it any better, just where fans can see.
Yeah.
But at the same time, yeah, I mean, you set it up that way, so there's not an inside wall there. They could easily put an inside wall on all these tracks, and you would it'd be the same thing as the backstretch in most of them, and you could hit that wall right there, and it would end your day. So I feel like it is good to have. It should not kill your day, but it should be a penalty. For sure. I mean, it should maybe break something, maybe not. Maybe you get lucky sometimes, and because you get lucky sometimes when you hit the wall.
Right. Tap it.
You just tap it or whatever. So, yeah. But no, to your question, yes, there should be some type of. It should affect you when you hit the inside grass, when you hit the infield grass.
So one thing a lot of people talk about is with the grass, and especially they ended up paving the backstretch of Daytona because of Ryan Preece, but they'll say the grass grabs the car and makes it flip more. And I've got my own opinions on that, but like, what do you think about that?
I find that hard to believe. Personally, I think if we're talking in the Ryan Preece instance, this is a car issue when it comes to Cup. The reason they were flipping, we saw them flip all the time, not due to grass. I mean, we saw Corey LaJoie catch air at. I don't remember.
Was it Pocono?
Pocono. Maybe? It may have been Pocono. No grass involved at all.
Yeah.
Just car lifts up when it bounces like that because of the underbody. So, no, I don't think that the grass probably really has anything to do with car flipping. I think it's more of a. I'm not saying it doesn't have anything to do with it, but it's way more on the car than it is anything. Yeah. It's way more on this car because we've been racing like this for 60 years. We've never had this issue until this car. Yeah. Where they're catching air like this.
And I think a lot of times, so people will look at it, and like when the car does catch in the grass, like the grass sometimes will grab it a little bit.
Yeah.
And make it flip, right? And it looks bad because it slows it down.
Yeah.
And it's like that violent, but at the same time, if it's all concrete, nothing slows it down.
Nothing.
Right? Because there's no friction, there's no resistance. So what looks bad is probably a little bit better. Now, do you get some barrel rolls from digging into grass?
Yes.
Yeah. And especially when it's been wet. And that's kind of where I maybe have a solution or like an idea.
Okay.
But I don't think they have artificial at Charlotte. And when they spin through there's no
like ice.
And there's no penalty either. And I think if you slide through the infield, right, that you're not on the racing surface.
No.
Why should you be unpenalized?
Yeah.
For not being on the racing surface?
Yeah. Just when you
hit the wall, just like you said, if you hit the wall, penalty.
Yeah. You're breaking something, you're going to the back instantly. I mean, it's the same way at road courses. You get off into these turns sometimes, Watkins Glen, not necessarily Chicago, but Sonoma, there's all these areas that are straight sand and gravel, and your car just sinks in it because you overdrove the turn. No one's complaining about that.
No, and that's your penalty.
It's your penalty for overdriving the turn.
Stay on the racetrack.
Stay on the racetrack. I guarantee there's no gravel on the racetrack that you can get stuck in.
Right.
That's just not how it works.
So I kind of have a solution if you will hang with me here. Okay.
Please.
So this is something I've thought about. If y'all remember, I've got a few of these like wild hair brain ideas, right?
Yes, you did.
I wasted one on episode 1, our worst episode ever.
Don't go. I told you to go back and listen to 36. Don't go back.
So
I'll
bring it up another time.
I'll
bring it up. I'm not gonna bring it up today, but I feel like that's a good idea too. If you remember for tire wear.
Yes. No, I remember.
To pave the. Okay. So this is my other wild hair brain idea. I might know a thing or two about grass.
You know a couple things.
If y'all know me.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of these problems we have is when it rains, right? And they build these racetracks.
There's just clay in there.
And just like whatever shit they dug up to build the track, they just throw in the infield. It rains, there's puddles. A lot of times this grass isn't good.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised, like, good-looking grass not only looks good, but it has a strong root system.
It's healthy.
Yes. It holds water. It filters water, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, if you've got weeds and everything like that, they don't... If you look at the roots on a really strong grass, I mean, dude, they're way under the ground, right? And all that's soaking up moisture, too.
Yeah.
So
All
it's
the grass except the stuff that Rob Hamby grows.
Right. That's not true. That's not true.
I'm just.
Jesus Christ.
That was funny, dude.
No, I know, but
Okay.
I know. Don't make fun of a man's living over here.
Yeah, my bad. Okay, sorry, Rob. I didn't know you're that sensitive. My bad.
Anyway.
dude. Okay.
Anyway. So my opinion, and I think Daytona is like pretty good. And I only say that because that's like one of the few infields I've walked on.
Yeah.
And I walked on it after it had torrential downpoured for days. It was like pretty wet, but not too wet. So my idea, when these cars go in there, right, they dig in the splitter or the valence or whatever, whether it's Xfinity, Trucks, Cup, whatever, it digs in and it grabs, right, because it's wet or it's just really mushy and it tears the car up. So we play golf.
Yeah.
Everything all right over there?
Yeah. No,
So we play golf, and if you ever play like a really, really ritzy place, the fairways are always firm, right?
Super firm.
They want them firm for that rollout.
Yep.
And they want them to drain too. So like a USGA spec green's got 12 inches of sand, right?
It's a lot of sand.
And then it's a lot of sand.
That's
and
a
then
lot of
gravel. Okay, but you've got constant irrigation. You're manicuring that grass. You're mowing it at 0.110 of an inch. So a little bit different. A fairway, you still have irrigation. You still have that. But you don't want to put it on that brink of death like you do a green, okay? Because you're also going to mow it at a 1/4 inch. A little bit taller, but you still want it to drain. You still want it to be firm. So we're talking there, at a really nice course, not just, a run-of-the-mill place, 3 to 6 inches of sand on that top base. Because it's going to drain. It's going to promote that root growth. If we get a torrential downpour, it'll move it. If we want to dry it out, we'll just leave the water off, right? So I think we need to really invest in these tracks, having people that know what they're talking about with turf, right?
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it's 2-3 acres. We pay people 6 figures to manage NFL stadiums that are less than 2 acres.
Way less.
Okay?
Yeah.
You talk about Texas Motor Speedway, we can fit multiple football fields inside. That's just Texas. So let's spend some money. Let's dig out that top 3 to 6 inches. Let's put some sand down. Let's put Bermuda because we're in Texas. Let's low mow it and let's maintain it. Before the race comes, if no rain is there, right, we dry it down. We don't put any water on it. We get it dry, just like we're prepping for a PGA tournament.
Yes.
I don't know if you ever been around that, but to prep for those tournaments, I mean, it's on the brink of death. They dry it out because they want it firm.
Yeah.
So we dry it out, we get it firm, and that way, if a car goes over it, it's going to mess up the grass, right?
Yeah.
It should slow them down a little bit. Maybe they'll get a little damage. Maybe they'll just get some grass or some dirt in the grill. They still have to pit, but they're not ripping a splitter off.
Yeah.
Either, right? And we have a better looking infield that when it rains, it doesn't get completely saturated. There's not puddles everywhere. And then we're promoting, people that spend 4 years to get a degree in this, right? And there's more than you would think.
Yeah, there's too many.
Right.
There's too many.
I've got a buddy, a good listener.
Yeah.
His name's James Maples.
Okay.
All right.
I know James.
You know Maples.
I know him. Yeah.
That man could be the NASCAR agronomist.
Dude.
And he's passionate about NASCAR.
Yeah.
He's passionate about turf grass.
He's passionate about safety.
He could whip him into shape. He's hearing everything I'm saying right now, and he's like, no. You need to have this mix. You need to have this much peat, this much yada. I mean, he would have it down.
Yeah.
So that's my solution. What do you think?
I mean, I have no counterpoints. Then the only thing is getting the tracks to buy into something like this because dude, you know how it is already. You can't get tracks to update their facilities now.
Yeah, which is a shame because
it is a shame.
And what if we've talked about it on another overview? We have $1 billion TV deal.
Yeah,
a third of that goes to NASCAR, or not a third. They never gave the exact percentages, but the majority of that goes to NASCAR and the tracks.
Yeah.
So
they have money.
They have money.
They have plenty of money, but getting them to use it is completely different. And I completely agree. Is like the upfront cost would be astronomical. Like if you went to them, it wouldn't be that bad, but it would be astronomical to them, especially if you're not putting in new seating or something. You're not doing something that's going to bring you more fans or
it's like the same with golf courses too. Like when the superintendent or whatever goes to the owner and is like, we need to spend this much, they're like, it's grass.
I know.
I have grass in my yard. It's like, no, I'm telling you, it's a whole different animal. It's a whole different animal.
So putting good people in the position to sell that idea and to really push. Like, I think the first step would be doing some type of study, not just throwing pavement where the grass is. Yeah. You do some type of. There will be guys that would go out there and run some tests and spin in the grass and completely see what could be done to fix this.
Here's another thing, and you just gave me an idea here. FIFA, one of the world's largest organizations, where paid Tennessee and Michigan State to their turf departments to do research to bring FIFA, right?
Yeah.
I guarantee you, I've never seen them turn a check down.
No.
The University of Tennessee.
Never.
Give them a little bit of money and say, go flip a car or simulate flipping a car. They simulate at these universities that have these programs, and people probably think this is crazy, but they simulate like falling on your head on concrete compared to artificial compared to real grass. So we can simulate flipping a car or like going 190 miles an hour and spinning through weeds and muck compared to a sand-based infield. Write them a check, dude. They'll take it.
Yeah.
And they'll do the research.
They will.
And
so you don't even have to do it.
No,
you don't even have to do it.
Stroke a check.
Yep.
Put the University of Tennessee on it. Bias. Mm-hmm. But like the opportunity is there. I just think they don't understand that's the whole expertise. That's a whole field.
Yes.
Right?
It's a whole field, and it's just something that they would probably never do. It would take something miraculous to this to happen, or we're just going to go to exactly what you said, and they're going to put artificial everywhere.
Yeah, which I don't like. There's no penalty.
It doesn't solve the issue. If anything, it makes it worse because you're not slowing down. I mean, it's rubber pellets.
Yeah.
You're sliding on marbles. That's what you're sliding on.
And Chris Buescher flipped the first year next gen. He flipped at Charlotte and was this is not the artificial turf's fault, but he was stuck upside down.
Yeah.
For like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But he hit a drain. Mm-hmm. He hit a drain in that artificial turf that like wouldn't need to be there because you would put the drains under the sand.
Yes. Put them way lower.
Lower.
Yeah.
So
wouldn't need to be there.
You don't have to. You don't have to have runoff like a concrete parking lot.
Yep. No, I think it's a great idea, and it definitely something NASCAR should do, because I do think it is the number one. We always talk about safety, and I think it would improve the safety of everything that we do, but also serve as a penalty. Or I think the other thing you should do is throw up if you don't want to mess with that, throw up a safer barrier all the way around. Personally, like there should be a penalty for sliding through.
Which would look like shit.
No, it would. It would look terrible. You wouldn't want that. So to me, if you're not going to do that, which we would all agree would be an awful idea, to throw up a safer barrier on the front stretch of every track on the inside would be awful. And so invest in making these things safe and viable for the track. Like you said, I mean, once you got that done, dude, not anybody can do the maintenance, but you can have the agronomist over 6 different tracks. SMI can hire a guy, and he travels and goes to all these different tracks, and you just have different crews.
Yeah.
Anybody can work on a crew because I do it. I'm just doing what the boss tells me to do. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
So
no, I agree. I want to close it out by saying this is my advocation for James Maples, NASCAR agronomist.
We'll get him hired. We've done a lot of things at this show.
You imagine that title? NASCAR agronomist.
Oh, God.
Wow.
That's
think those are 2 words that I close my eyes, I see James Maples.
Yeah, I do too.
So
with a hockey stick
with a hockey stick. That's right.
With a hockey stick.
That's our boy.
Yes.
So if you're listening to Maples, we're advocating for you.
Yeah, we are.
But let's get into a little bit of Texas recap. We got a little long here. Race rating. Preface this by saying you watched the race today.
Today, I did.
So it's fresh on your mind.
It's very fresh on my mind. I gave it a 7-9.
Okay.
I didn't see, because I mean I saw. So on Sunday I was traveling. I got to watch a little bit of the race, but you know how it is. You don't get to really focus and watch what you wanted to see at all times.
Jet lagged.
You are jet lagged. Yeah, especially in the Big Apple. You know, there's a lot going on. At the place I was at, they had the F1 race on. I was like, no, this is
fuck you.
Yeah. But you don't get to see a lot, and so I watched it back today, and dude, I thought it was a great race. Like, the cars could do a lot. You got punished for going up top. The lane above the bottom took time to work in. I enjoy that. And if you did not point the car straight or were a wheelman at the very top, you're losing in the bumps.
Yeah.
And we saw that by the leader. We saw that by dudes in the back of the pack. We saw that the entire day, all day. Now, did it get a little crazy? Of course it gets a little crazy, but that's how it is. All these guys have driven around there all day, and then at the end, they're like, maybe we can make it work now. So I thought it was great. What'd you give it?
8-2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're around there.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. I don't want to echo what you said because I think you said it perfect. I mean, that's exactly how I felt. And I put on here, is this as good as Texas can get? We have a lot of people that have seen, and we have 2 terrible Texas races.
Yes.
And so there's already a stigma when we go there that it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Before the green flag drops,
Yeah.
before they drop the green,
Yep.
there's a stigma, right, that this race is going to be
And
terrible.
stigmas in NASCAR are the worst.
The worst.
The
yeah,
worst.
the
They're
worst.
worse than
Yeah.
anything. on the
People
face of the
hated
planet.
this race before it ever started.
Yes.
And yeah, and people be like, well, you can't run multiple lanes. It's like, dude, we race 36 times a year, right?
Yeah.
If we have one race where it's this technical and like there's people busting their ass,
Yeah.
and I agree, the cautions got a little much, but I think you feel the same way when we watch a Daytona and it's cautions at the end.
Yeah.
Because it's just people wrecking each other, throwing bad blocks.
It's drivers.
You're like, what are you doing?
This is track.
Yeah, this is
track.
people busting their ass.
Yeah.
And what does everybody say about the next gen cars? Like, it's too easy to drive.
Yeah.
Did it look easy?
No.
No.
If we had this same exact race at Darlington, it'd get a 98%.
Yes, exactly. It'd be like, it's a driver's track.
It's a driver's track.
Yeah.
Texas is turning into this driver's track, and I'm all about it.
Yeah.
And I'm the first one to say that I'm not a fan of one lane racing, being a dominant lane. I had that same complaint at Martinsville. Like, why
Yeah.
can't we get something up? But I'm also fine with the fact that at Martinsville, the track really has no character. Like,
Yeah.
it's a flat track. You know exactly. They put the PJ1 down and whatever. You go from this track has character. Like, there are bumps in it. There's not necessarily potholes, but it has that character. And when those guys get out there, they have to know the track.
Yeah.
And to me, that is something that we've lost. It's literally only at like Darlington. Like, where can I put my car and be successful consistently? And when you force guys to go to aero blocking's huge there because
Yeah.
you can only run one line. And when someone makes you run a different line, can you handle it? Can you feel your car get loose and save it? And we saw it several times. Carson Hocevar, before he got crazy loot, saved his car. It was sideways.
It was nuts.
It was
Yeah.
sideways.
Yeah.
William Byron is up on his behind, and he is sideways, saves that thing. Like that,
Yeah.
you're not going to see that anywhere else because of. And William Byron didn't touch him; he got loose because of the track. So,
And then you look at a Josh Berry who wrecked
Yeah.
from the lead. It's like, had a pretty decent lead.
Yeah.
And I'm not advocating that like you just ride around, but it's like, did he have to go up top and
He
pass
pulled a Kyle
and
Larson.
Did he have to pass Cody Ware right then?
not then.
I mean, no, you don't. And you should be penalized for
Yes.
trying to get too much.
Yes, you
right?
should.
Not every week, but
No.
if we go to a specific track where you get penalized, and he said on the radio, he's like, man, I went up there the same place last lap and it worked. And,
Yep.
and I guarantee you, when he goes back and looks, he's maybe 6 inches to a foot
Yeah.
away from where he was.
Or it could have been that car. Could have been the car, the air. We
Yeah.
saw all day. They would
Maybe
get in
pushed
that
him up a
wake.
little bit.
Yes, you get in that wake of that car, and then the air is not the same on the front of it. So
Yeah.
we saw that all day of how this could be an issue. And I was, of course, I was sad because I want Josh to win. But I mean,
Yeah.
you got to.
No, I feel the same way. And
He's
it's like,
he's gonna be there next year.
Yeah.
He's gonna be just fine, and he'll know that. Hey, when I pass a car on the outside, this is exactly where I got to be, and I'll know.
Yeah, and those guys go up there, especially at the end, because there's speed to be made.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
can get, and some guys did get over it. I mean, not everybody that went over there wrecked.
We saw Briscoe do it, jump
Yeah.
3 wide on the restart because he got a heck of a run, and it's like, dude, maybe you don't do that at Texas. You wait,
Yeah.
you let your tires are so low PSI there that they gotta build up some pressure before
Yeah,
you can
so you
run.
don't hit those bump stops.
Yes.
And we saw Larson get up there too, and just like get out of it.
Yes.
If you get out of it and don't let it bump, you're gonna lose spots. But I mean, losing spots is a lot better than backing into the fence too.
100%.
So I was not mad about it because I think the more each of one of these tracks can have their own identity, the better. And if this is going to be the Texas identity,
Yes.
I'm cool with it.
Don't change it.
I'm absolutely cool with it.
Do not change it.
Had a few things. I think I just mentioned it, but Kyle Busch did it. I mean,
Kyle Busch did it.
He's just Kyle Busching himself.
Yep.
Is that a term now?
I think so. I mean, we're never going to see him win a race ever again.
It reminded me, do you remember when Jimmy Johnson was leading, golly, it was like his last year or close to it. He was leading the race, and he wrecked trying to pass a lap car.
Was it at Texas?
No, but it was just like, it was,
It
I can't
had to be a
remember.
mile and a half.
It was somewhere.
Okay.
But this is what it reminded me of. It was like, dude, you didn't have to do that.
No, you didn't.
You didn't have to do that.
And he did.
And he did.
Yeah.
So, made me sad. I got a couple things here I just want to get your opinion on. Blaney choosing the second row on one of those late race restarts.
Yeah, that was wild.
Why?
I don't know why.
Now, he couldn't restart to save his life.
No.
But still.
Maybe he was hoping that he wouldn't get just beat so bad on the front row that he checks up the whole line and he can just kind of roll behind the car in front of him, kind of go when they do. But, dude, he did not have it on restarts all day. And we've never seen that from him. Normally, these Penske cars are really good at restarts.
Dude, he could not restart.
He could not restart.
It was so bad.
anything.
And he had a million opportunities.
Yes.
It's like you restart bad and you're like, okay, if I get another one, I won't do that again.
Yeah.
And that happened to him like 4 times.
Yeah.
And he still couldn't do it.
It was the definition of insanity. Like, dude, after twice, let's
do something different.
Try something different. But they couldn't figure it out. The only guy that had a good restart was Cindric early in the race when he restarted up there on the first row.
McDowell had a good one towards the end. One of the
I was talking Penske cars.
Oh, Penske cars.
Yeah, I was just talking Penske cars because Joey was never up there to restart. He was like third row, second row that last time I think when he made that pass and was super fast. But no, McDowell had a really good one. Larson had several good ones where he stayed. He was on the inside, but Michael McDowell was right on the outside.
Yeah, well, he got no push from Blaney.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Blaney's back there figuring out. He's like, I can't remember how to shift.
Yeah, for real.
So one thing I didn't talk to you about today, and I hope you saw on TV, this McDowell block.
Yes. Unreal.
The balls on this guy.
Not just the balls on this guy, but I go back to how these races are freaking commentated, dude.
Yeah, dude, they couldn't care less.
They could not care. He is literally 8 inches from the inside wall on the backstretch, and we're like, yeah, that's where the racing should happen.
I'm sure you're the same way. When I'm screaming at the TV.
Yes. We saw him dive down. We've seen that a lot. And dude, he just keeps going and going and going. And Joey is on his quarter panel.
And that's not a guy that backs out. If he throws that block on literally anybody else, but Joey's like, I'll brush the inside wall if you want me to.
Yes.
I'll do it.
I literally think Michael McDowell was like, he was daring him to let up, and Joey was like, no. And then Michael McDowell gets halfway to the wall and was like, no way. No way he goes any further. And then goes another 8 feet in and was like, still no way. Okay, I have to stop.
Yeah.
Like we're going to die doing that. I mean.
And then he's in panic mode.
Yeah.
Gets behind Blaney, loses it in the wake, like you talked about. And I mean, it's just like, do I hate late race restarts in overtime? Yes, but it's like, he busted his ass. Yes. He's in third. He's trying to get back to the lead.
Yep.
This dude tries to win all the time. We saw it when he made that stupid block at was that Daytona or Talladega last year when he blocked. You remember McDowell blocking from the outside wall all the way down there?
Yes, that was Talladega, I do believe.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So this is just a McDowell thing.
Yeah.
He tries to win from any position.
And no, dude, that should be encouraged.
No, I'm not complaining.
Within the rules.
And I saw a lot of people on social media. They're like, "Why can't McDowell just take a 5th place finish?" I'm like, McDowell, his whole career has been in a position where, like, if he's gonna win, second means nothing.
Yes.
Because he has nothing else to back up on the rest of the year. So, like,
he's playing the system.
This format was made for Michael McDowell.
Yes, it was.
Absolutely.
And going for it there was perfect. He did everything right. He didn't wreck him. He was
on 2 tires.
He's on 2 tires. He had to do something. And if he would have got that position, who knows? If he could have held that position, who knows what could have happened?
Yeah. You imagine he just keeps blocking him down, and they're both entering the turn below
that white line. Oh my gosh, what racing!
Blaney wins it. I think
Blaney 100% wins it.
So last thing on recap, because we can go on and on. Deserving Joey Logano win.
Yeah, actually, looking back, the first thing I said when I saw who won, I was like, "There's no way," because I didn't get to see any of stage 3.
Yeah, you saw he started 30th.
Yeah, I saw he started 30th, and I saw there was an overtime, and I was like, "Oh, dude, probably was."
Save fuel.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's where your head goes with it. Joey is like, who were they not in the fuel window? Everyone pitted. He somehow had 95 miles of fuel lines in his car that he was able to
Smoky unit, man.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, after watching it, yeah, he deserved it. He really did. I mean, he did everything right. They tweaked on that car all day, and he drove through the field.
He did.
Like there was
under green.
It's not like he took 2 tires and then pulled like a Todd Gilliland and stayed up there. Dude kind of pitted with everybody and meticulously made his way through the field, which I was all about.
Yeah.
So I think he deserved this one.
And he didn't bust his ass like many of the other guys did. And there's something to be said for that at this track.
Because he was passing guys not using the outside.
Yeah.
He was working them down.
And that's now the identity of this track is like, yeah, you could be Tyler Reddick, ripping.
Yeah, you
but
can.
if you bust your ass at the end, what's it matter?
Means nothing.
Means nothing.
Means nothing.
So, no, I thought it was a pretty deserving win. I know people don't like it because it's Joey.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm not happy about it.
Yeah.
Never going to be happy with a Joey win.
No.
But when
like
you deserve it, you deserve it.
And his Nashville win last year, I was like, yeah, that's ridiculous. But this
that was so undeserving.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
Yeah.
He knows that.
Yeah.
He would never say that, but he knows.
He knows it.
He knows.
Yeah.
Like, no offense to Zane, he didn't deserve a second place finish in that race.
No, he didn't.
The only people that should have won that race were Ross Chastain or Denny Hamlin.
And Ross was
wheelmanning it up.
Wheelmanning it up, yeah.
Such a quiet third place finish.
Yeah.
The quietest third place finish we've ever had from Ross ever.
Was work on the car, be meticulous, and be aggressive.
Yeah.
So you're rewarding what everybody wants.
Yep.
So I don't know. The people that didn't like it, I mean, I guess there's a lot of...
They don't listen to Drop the Green.
They don't listen to Drop the Green, and I don't want to sound like we're just like stroking off NASCAR, but I mean, it was as good as you can ask for.
You have to.
And it's different from what we're going to see next week. And that's all I want. I want everywhere we go to be different.
Yes. And the last thing I'll say about it is, for me and you, when we get on here, we are the first ones to rip NASCAR.
For sure.
I also think we're really good at being the first ones to congratulate them on putting on a good event. The one that we want to see.
You got to call it the way it is.
Yes, exactly. And I think we're really good at that. And that's exactly what we saw. We saw a good race that got a look. Dude, it had everything that everyone wants. It had a ton of cautions. It had an overtime.
Comers and goers. Tires mattered.
Tires mattered. I mean, no one really with 2 tires made it work. I mean, look at McDowell.
Yeah.
Todd Gilliland. I mean, there was a lot of guys that took 2, and it just didn't work. We saw exactly what you want to see. So.
Yeah. No, I agree. Let's move on to standouts. Yeah. Really only a couple I want to talk about here. SVG Suarez. Suarez is just stealing them, really. Because he's not doing anything good. SVG is just doing really bad. Yeah. So we're 2-10 on them. He's just waiting for some right turns. We get it. Cindric Berry, we're tied now.
Yeah.
6-6, and that's on Barry a little bit.
I think the last 3 that Cindric's gotten have definitely been on Barry.
Yeah.
Barry straight up beat him in that first stage. Like, did meticulously past him, had the speed, set him up, and passed him, and then you just bust it. And you have that in this sport. You have that.
Yep. And I think he's still got a lot to learn, but he's still way ahead of the curve of somebody that's only in his second year.
Yeah.
So, Hocevar Gibbs, I think they finished 23rd, 24th.
Yeah.
Hocevar, hell of a day. Hell of a day.
Yeah.
Kind of got screwed a little
bit.
And then, no, he's from Michigan.
I thought it's Chili's home track. I'm so sorry. You're right.
Yeah.
Chili's home track.
No, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, obviously, Gibbs got him. We're 3-9. Kind of running away a little bit, but it's interesting just to keep talking about Hocevar. I don't know if you saw Ryan Priest's post-race interview, like not on TV, but like on like YouTube, like the people just
yeah.
So Hocevar and Priest have a little bit of history.
Okay,
I don't know if you know that. It was like a couple of years ago. Hocevar was trying to get his first truck win, and Ryan Priest was running part-time truck, part-time Xfinity, trying to get back into Cup.
Okay.
And Hocevar, I can't remember the race, and I apologize, but late race restart, stuffs it on Priest, wrecks them both. Okay, Priest is going to win the race. After the race, they interview Priest on TV, and they're like, hey, how's that run? Priest looks directly in the camera and is like, to all you kids out there right now trying to race, don't do that. don't do what he just did and just like crucifies Carson Hocevar.
And it was necessary. Carson,
Probably, yeah,
Carson
yeah,
was
yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're like Carson biased.
Of course, but I mean,
yeah, definitely necessary. Like, it was
Yeah.
uncalled for what
Okay.
he did. So Carson being Carson, like the next week, Priest like wrecked in practice or something like that.
Yeah.
And Hocevar quote tweeted and said, "To all you guys out there coming up, don't do that."
No way.
You know how Hocevar is.
Yeah.
So
he's
anyway,
hilarious.
He's
dude.
hilarious.
He's
yeah.
hilarious.
So after the race, they're doing this like little iPhone interview with Priest, and they're like, "What happened?" He's like, "What? Who was it? Who was it?" They're like, I don't know." He's like, "I think I know who it was. It's the same kid that doesn't respect his equipment, doesn't respect his competitors, and all he's done is prove me right the past couple of years."
Dang.
And he said one day he'll get what he deserves.
Wow.
So keep an eye on that, because
Is that a rivalry brewing that we
maybe
love on the show?
And of all the people that like don't follow up on what they say they're going to do, Ryan Priest is not that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember Bristol Dirt the last time they went there, but him and like Larson got into it a little bit, and then he just destroyed Larson. Like over 100 laps later, destroyed Larson. And they interviewed him afterwards. They're like, what was that? It was clearly intentional.
Yeah.
They interviewed Priest. He's like, "I don't race dirt. I don't know how this works." And they interviewed Larson, and quote, word for word, Larson was like, "It had been 100 laps. I thought we could get the fuck over it."
Yeah, I know.
He's like, "I don't understand." And so I think if anybody like would teach Hocevar a lesson, and he probably needs it,
He definitely needs it.
but I hope he continues to
Call
be
a spade a
Hocevar.
spade. He needs it.
I enjoy watching him race the way he does,
I'm with you.
and I think Priest would be that guy.
Okay.
So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on that. Maybe that's
like
the
it.
head-to-head we should have done.
Maybe
but,
so.
Bubba Briscoe, just to close up real quick, 7-5.
Yep.
Briscoe got one back, I believe, because
Yes.
of Bubba's wreck. We didn't talk about his wreck, but just really tight, close racing.
Yeah.
Tank slapped the wall, came back into Logano.
Yep.
And then Logano wins the race. So
And just Briscoe getting in the incident by himself just happened to he just finished the race. He did not. He did. That's sadly Bubba gave him that one.
Yep.
Because Briscoe did awful.
And we're going to Kansas.
Yeah.
Which is
his track.
a good track.
Yeah.
So we'll roll that into Drop the Green Bets.
Yep.
Want to update everybody here. We did not hit anything. Just bad news out of the way.
Yeah, but we were all over it. And
Not
if you,
your fault.
Dude,
I think
we
everybody
were
that bet on
all
this
over
race lost.
They had to. No one saw it. Joey won, right?
Except, I sent you Dale Tanhart?
Yeah, dude. Well, that guy.
I sent you what he... Did you look at it?
No, I may not have seen it.
So
then.
before the race, and just a little sidestep, Dale Tanhart, pretty big on Twitter.
Yeah.
He's a bettor. He
Great guy.
tweeted, before the race, he's like, "I'm thinking about betting on Joe Logano. He's starting 30th, right?" And everyone's crucifying him.
Yeah.
There's like, "No way, dude." And so he makes another post. He's like, "All right, these replies are pretty funny. Don't worry, I've committed to not betting Logano." He's like, "Even though I have this feeling that he's just going to do some Logano stuff and win, I'm not going to bet on him. But I feel like I should."
Yeah.
And then
That's
what happens?
tough.
Yeah.
That's
He had him to win and got talked out of it. So I don't think anybody hit this week. But we didn't hit anything. We made good bets. I think you were all over it. Everything was going to hit, but it didn't. We are down 5.58 units.
Yeah.
The wheel is down 5.88. So we're still beating the wheel. That's all we
Beating the
got
wheel
to
by a
do.
little bit.
So what do you got this week? We're
This
going
week
to Kansas.
I got 4 good ones for you.
4, okay.
4. I got 4 good ones. First one, Ross Chastain top 10, full unit. I think we're going to build off this Texas win right here. We have not bet it, and I was a huge Ross Chastain bettor last year, and I haven't touched him this year.
Much like Bowman.
So we're touching him this week, minus 125 top 10. Not bad. Like, it definitely could be way higher. I feel like he's pretty good at mile and a half. He should have no trouble getting around here. And if he races exactly like he did at Texas, where if he's not going to qualify well, I don't think. I hope he doesn't qualify well, and he just has a grinded out day. I see no reason why he doesn't finish 8th to higher up in there. I feel pretty confident in that. Full unit.
Full unit.
Full unit.
All right.
Ross, minus 125, top 10. Next one, I'll hit you with 2 top 10 guys. So this is a pick 2 top 10. I think it has to be done. I couldn't do Larson, and it's not because that he burnt me last week. It was Willie B that burnt me. And so I think it's Larson's time to burn. So I'm using like a little bit of tactics here.
Okay.
So I'm going back
reverse
to the
reverse psychology.
I'm going back to Willie B. Okay. Top 10 paired with Denny Hamlin. Top 10. Toyotas are going to be fat. Toyotas dominate here.
Yep.
I'm with you. They have to be here. And then the other guy who's going to dominate is William Byron.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, there's not literally watching that Texas race, I've never seen him do that at a mile and a half. Literally just fall off the face of the planet.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. I don't see that happening 2 weeks in a row. I don't. So we're going back to him. Minus 118 for those two guys. Top 10 finishes. 1 unit.
1 unit.
One
All
unit.
Right. We got a unit left to play with.
We got a unit left to play with, and I got 2. And I think we're all over it. These odds are too good. So we hit it last week. Well, we didn't hit it last week, but we dabbled with it. The fastest laps. Okay? Fastest lap this week goes to my man, Bubba Wallace. Plus 2,000.
Ooh.
I mean, come on.
I love that.
Come on. Don't tell me he's going to qualify on the pole. Like, I feel that.
Okay.
I feel that in my bone. He qualifies on the pole, pulls a Hocevar, and just gets the fastest lap in the first
early,
15.
no one can touch it.
No one can touch it. No one can touch it. This is the race that may, and even if he doesn't qualify on the pole, what I think will play into his hand is this track normally goes to, it sometimes falls when the sun's going down. So lap times can get a little bit faster towards the end, right? If I remember that correctly? Or is that the fall one?
Last year it had like a 4-hour delay.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm bringing up last year.
Okay.
So. But it could happen. They could have a delay.
I'll see what time it starts. If
yeah,
you want.
see what time it starts. So fastest lap, Bubba Wallace plus 2,000, half a unit. My last half a unit is going to go on another bet that we didn't touch, but it's very interesting. Most fastest laps.
Interesting. That one's very intriguing to me.
That one is very intriguing. And you know who gets it? Tyler Reddick.
Okay.
Tyler Reddick, the most fastest laps. So I would assume.
Is that like by average?
I don't know. That's why we're going to dabble in it. We're going to see if it hits.
Okay.
We're going to see if it hits. I'm going to try to find somewhere that they're keeping track of this. I mean, DraftKings has got to keep track of this.
Yeah, they would have to.
They would have to if they're paying it out. Plus 850.
Okay.
Tyler Reddick, half unit.
Okay.
And I think we're hitting one of those. We're hitting one of those. Maybe not both of them.
I think, that'd be amazing if we did. Races starting at 3, going to 7.
Okay. So, no, probably
so
not.
We're getting a little sundown.
Maybe. And maybe there's a delay. Who knows?
Maybe.
I hope not, but maybe there is. The most intriguing thing, or that I really want a clarification on, and I can probably pull it up on DraftKings to really get a clarification, but the most fastest laps, to me, that's not the fastest lap, but you have the most fastest lap times. So, like, say Bubba Wallace has the fastest lap, but Tyler Reddick
has the second, third, and fourth?
So say they go around one time, and Bubba Wallace has a 30-second lap, okay? But Tyler Reddick, that's the fastest lap, 30 seconds. And then Tyler Reddick has a 31-second lap 50 times. And the next Bubba Wallace has 31 seconds for 25 laps. To me, that's the most fastest lap. Yeah.
So we go by average.
Right?
Then. If it went by average, yeah.
Well, I think it's like every time they come around, they keep track of who has the fastest lap. Per lap. That's what I think. That's how I read that.
So
I don't know.
Who has the most fastest laps per lap?
Yes.
So every lap that goes around,
who has the fastest lap that lap?
Okay.
That's how I read it. I don't know. It could be averages.
I don't know either.
But that's how I read it. Most fastest laps.
That makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could talk me into that.
Okay. So that's what I'm banking on, is that Bubba Wallace has the fastest lap.
Right.
Because Carson
that lap.
And
that race.
But Tyler Reddick has the most fast laps.
Okay.
So he is beating. So say the next lap, the fastest lap is 31 seconds, and that's what he got.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Okay.
That makes sense to me.
Okay.
That makes sense to me.
So if that is not how it's read and you know about this, please let us know in the comments.
We got a
Because if I lose, I'm
we have
gonna
a
want it
listener, Matty NASCAR.
Matty
Who's a
NASCAR.
big better, and he tailed us on the Reddick fastest lap. Sorry, we led you astray.
Yeah, we did.
But maybe he has some clarification on
Maybe he
this.
does.
and he
I
can
would
let
love.
us know.
I would love that because
Yeah.
that's how I read it.
Yeah.
And so when I made that bet, that's how I feel about it.
Okay, we'll have to ask him, and we need to get him on sometime because I
Dude, that
mentioned
would be
our
sweet.
I mentioned our little super speedway strategy to him. He was intrigued.
Let's
So
go.
I want to get his thoughts on that one day. So maybe an overview coming up. But
That would be great.
While you pull the wheel up, I'm going to recap these.
Yep.
So we've got Ross Chastain top 10 minus 125 1 unit. We got a little parlay going with Willie B and Denny for top 10 minus 118 1 unit. We've got fastest lap Bubba Wallace plus 2,000 half unit. That would get us up immediately.
Yep.
And then we've got most fastest laps to be determined on what that means. Tyler Reddick plus 850 half unit. But I think the way you describe that makes perfect sense.
Okay.
To be honest.
Okay.
So we'll see what the wheel does. If it does top 40 again, we're switching applications here.
Okay.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's been 3 times.
I think it has been a lot. I'd have to look at the records, but it's been several times.
So let's go to our bet type.
Bet type.
Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel. Let me pull it up where everyone can see it. And boom. You're still no Colby at it, dude.
I know.
Colby's
Next week, y'all get a good wheel spin.
Yeah, we will. We will.
Top 3, top Chevy. I like top. Do not do winner. We landed on top 3.
No, top Chevy.
Top
Got
Chevy,
it the last
okay.
second.
Okay. Obviously, we want Larson.
You want Larson?
Always.
You want, to me, you want Willie B too.
Anytime you give me a top Chevy bet, I don't care where we go.
Yeah, no, Larson's the,
I want Larson.
yeah.
No ads.
Chevy driver. No ads this time.
Oh, let's
no
go.
ads. We'll probably get one after this.
All right, we will spin our top Chevy driver.
All right.
Who's the worst one? Ty Dillon?
Yeah, gotta
Okay.
be Ty Dillon.
No, Austin Dillon. Don't do that.
Oh, no
All
way.
right, guys. So we spun.
We may hit the second worst guy. That you could
Yeah, so
possibly
we
get.
spun. Our bet type was top Chevy. We spun our Chevy wheel, and we got SVG.
Yep.
What a waste. We're not at the Chicago Street Course. His odds are going to be about plus 3,500.
Let's look. Pulling them up now.
God, dude. Well, you're not losing the wheel.
Not this week, hopefully.
No, I mean you. Even if you lose, you'll still be up.
Home NASCAR Cup races. We need race props. We need top car Chevrolet.
SVG. Scroll to the bottom. Scroll to the bottom. He's probably second to bottom.
He is third to bottom.
Third to bottom.
Okay, you're right. Ty Dillon is the very bottom, and it's him and Ricky tied at plus 10,000.
That's not fair. Ricky's been doing pretty good.
I know that's
a steal.
That is a steal. Plus 10,000.
Plus 10,000.
SVG.
Maybe.
Dude, if
Maybe.
he did, if he did though, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Dude, I don't know. I mean, I'm not worried about it, to be honest, because it's not going to happen.
$100 get you $10,000.
Right. I can promise you I'm not betting $100 on it.
Oh, dude, but if
If I did,
if you
which
did,
I'm not, it's not happening.
dude.
So we're just going to see how the wheel shakes out, but that's
Yeah.
not a good week for the wheel.
Oh, that's not a good one.
Not a good week for the wheel.
No.
All right. Let's get in predictions. How are we doing on time here?
We're at an hour 15.
All right. Let's
we're
do
not
some
doing bad.
quick Kansas predictions.
Yep.
We're not, we don't see the future, but I will say, I think this was the best race of 2024.
Yeah, Chris
Easily.
Chris Buescher, Kyle Larson
Larson.
going for the win.
It was a good race the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going back and forth. So a little
Did we
bit.
get a close finish like that?
I doubt it, just because
Yeah.
like odds.
Yeah.
The odds of that happening again are 1 in a million. I think we'll get a good race. The thing that's different from a Texas to a Kansas is we're going to go all out the whole time.
Yeah.
Right? We can go multiple places on the track. What screwed Buescher last year is he gave Larson the top in 3 and 4.
He will never do that
Dude,
again.
I don't care where you're at. You don't give Larson the top.
No.
What are you doing?
Yeah, even at Texas.
Yeah, I
don't.
wouldn't give him it.
No.
I wouldn't give him the top anywhere. So we're going to be able to see him. You know, it's going to be a good next gen race. This car was made for multiple lanes where you don't get in the wake. Not a lot of letting off, but still, that means they're going to have momentum. They're going to have speed. So I think it'll be a good race. I don't think if you're expecting it to be like last year, temper those expectations.
Yes.
Because, I mean, it's just, that's a 1 in a million shot. But I think it'll be a good race.
I do too. I do too.
Anything else? I said, will this break our streak of quote unquote bad racing? Because social media thinks NASCAR's folding tomorrow. So,
I mean,
can we make them happy?
I'm hoping that the races, I get to give it a higher rating than Texas, personally. But I mean, we're not on a streak of bad races. I don't think so either. Yeah, you could agree with that.
Yeah.
But yes, I hope this race doesn't come down to anything crazy with overtimes. If it's a close finish, it's a close finish. But it gets people fired back up again. Yep.
Morale is low, for sure. And some of it's justified. Do we have some problems with the car? Yes. But is it that bad? No. So, once again,
this is what we signed up for. Yeah. There's 36 of these a year. Come on now.
Yep.
There's going to be a couple duds. And I hate that they happen in a row. It's the way the schedule shakes out.
Yep.
We know this. Let's get back on track here. It's going to be a great race. I mean, if I give it below an 8.5, I'm gonna say in my book it was below expectations.
Okay. I like that.
That's where I think it's at. I think it should be very good. Exactly what you said. The car sets up perfect for this track, and we've seen amazing races here. So
We have.
Yep.
All right, let's get into choose who zone here.
Yep.
Close it on out. I will look away, as I always do. Our record, me and Spencer are 5 and 5, so we're neck and neck.
We are.
Colby and Spencer are 1 and 1. Yep. That will be important next week, as we'll let y'all know at the end. So we're 500 all around.
Hold on.
I'm not looking.
Don't look. Don't look.
And I'm hoping you gave me somebody whose name I know. It's been tough.
You better know this guy's name.
It's been gettable, but it's been tough.
You better know this guy's name.
That scares me when you say that.
You better. I don't think I have my... Oh, I do have my cell phone. Okay, in case I need it.
What's it at 2%?
44.
Oh, what? That's a record high for you.
It is. That is pretty high.
Oh, my God.
That's
a fresh battery for Spencer Morgan.
All right.
Ready for me?
Yeah, I'm ready for it. Choose who zone. If you don't know the rules, here are the rules. 3 facts, 2 questions, 3 total guesses. He can trade guesses for questions after he's asked his 2 if he needs more. Your facts: 44 wins all time.
Solid.
All-star race winner, 7-time Michigan winner.
44 wins all time.
Yeah, I gave you.
That's big. That's big.
Mm-hmm.
All-star race winner, 7-time Michigan winner.
Yep.
That's absurd. I feel like there's some questions I can ask that would make this super easy.
I mean, I can try to answer them.
I know.
But
Can you give me a hometown?
No.
Okay. All right. So it's a veto. Can you tell me who he's racing for when he won the All-Star race?
No. I can't.
You can't. Okay.
I can't.
I have like an immediate thought. Because the 7-time Michigan makes me think this is some Ford power. This is some good Ford. This is some good Yates power. I'm going to burn a guess.
Okay.
Out the gate. Is it Dale Jarrett?
No. No, it's not. Straight off the rip. No Dale Jarrett.
Not Dale Jarrett. You want to answer any of my questions? That's what's hurting me.
Well, you still have 2. I'm not counting them as questions if I don't answer.
I just think the Ford's always been strong at Michigan. It's a high horsepower track, especially in this time. I'm thinking this is a while ago. 44 wins. It's not like a Brad Keselowski. He's in the 30s. Joey's in the 30s. You're not up to a Kevin Harvick. So it's got to be a champion. If if I ask if it's the champion, that's not really going to help me. I don't think, because it's kind of all in on Dale Jarrett. You won't tell me who he raced for in the All-Star race, which is absurd.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm thinking like kind of a Labonte now, but that doesn't seem right. You won't tell me. Will you tell me what year he was born?
Yeah, I'll tell you what year he was born.
Like a date, too. Just to get fancy with it. But you won't tell me a hometown.
Hold on, I'm checking something.
Oh, I kind of want to know what year that All-Star race was, though, actually. Can I change my question?
Yeah, would you rather change that?
Yeah, what year did he win the All-Star race?
86. $1986.
Was that the year? No. 1986 All-Star winner.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to like a Jeff Bodine a little bit. You won't tell me where he's from, but Jeff Bodine's from like Massachusetts or something. So I don't think you would care about that. You definitely wouldn't tell me who he drove for because it would be Hendrick. Is it Jeff Bodine?
No.
Not Jeff Bodine.
2 guesses gone. No way. I steal this. You still have one
obvious?
question.
Is that obvious?
I feel like it is, but maybe it's not. I feel like I gave you everything. I feel like you should be thanking this guy. This is one of your favorite guys. You've talked about this guy so many times. So
Davey didn't get up to 44 wins. Davey Allison did not.
No, I would agree.
I've talked about this guy so many times.
Yeah, dude.
I got one question left.
Yeah, you have one question
But
left.
you won't answer any of my questions.
Do you want me to answer the team?
I don't know. I don't want you to feel sorry for me. This ain't a charity.
No, it's definitely not a charity. I feel like this team. I feel like you'll know this team.
It's too obvious.
I don't know. I mean, I personally don't know the team. I personally don't know the team.
If you don't personally know the team, how do you know I'm going to know the team?
I just feel like you're going to know the team. It's that era. You should know these guys.
86. I don't know if that's my era.
Okay.
I don't know if that's my era.
You want me to give you the team? I'll
give me the team that he was running for when he won
the All-Star race.
The All-Star race, yeah.
Milling Racing.
Melling?
Melling.
Melling?
Yeah.
I do know that. I do know that name. Oh, my God. I do know that name. Oh, no. I'm going to look like an idiot. Is what's gonna happen.
I hope.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Because this would be a huge win in my camp. Massive win. Melling. And I gave you good stuff. 44
wins.
You should know that. You should know the all-time win list like the back of your hand.
I know.
You really should.
I feel like I'm pretty decent.
You are. You haven't said the name that I thought you would say. Not also
Melling. Melling. It's Bill Elliott.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I told you the team would be too obvious.
Oh man. 44 wins.
Yep.
1988 Cup Series champion. 2-time Daytona 500 winner. 320 top 10s. That's insane. The biggest stat of all. Chase Elliott's dad.
Yeah. And I forgot the other T.
Man.
But, yeah.
And he's won a couple championships.
I think that was his only one.
That's his only championship?
That's his only one.
Wow.
Yeah. No, the other driver I thought you'd think of was Mark Martin. Really good at Michigan. He has 5 Michigan wins.
Yeah. Because
he's won 2 All-Star races, and he is 40 on the win list.
40 on the win list.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
don't know why he wasn't hitting me for some reason.
I knew I shouldn't have gave you the race.
Because I think his All-Star wins, I don't think Mark Martin was that big of a threat mid-'80s.
Okay.
In the All-Star.
Okay.
I remember watching Mark Martin win an All-Star race.
Yeah, okay.
Because back then, they had like this big like Brinks truck.
Oh my God, for the $1 million race.
And on your victory lap, the race car would follow like the Brinks truck, and they'd like throw fake money at it.
No way, that's cool. They need to bring that back.
And I remember watching Mark Martin like following the car, and they're just like throwing money. You know, I'm a kid. I'm like, So does he have to like
Somebody pick that up.
Is that his $1 million? I probably asked my dad. I was like, "Is that his $1 million?" He's like, "Yeah, he's gonna have to pick it up."
Yeah, of course, of course.
No, that was a good one. Yeah, you kind of gave it to me there because it was the Million Racing. Once I thought about it.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, I'm happy with it because it took you 2 guesses.
It did, yeah.
And it took you 2 guesses of a guy I didn't think you would get.
Yeah,
Like
not a big Bill Elliott fan, to be honest with you.
I know.
Yeah.
Mark Martin was the dude that you talk about all the time. I was hoping to lead you in that
Right.
direction.
You were trying to trick me.
I was. yeah.
Because I don't think I've ever mentioned Bill Elliott on this show.
Never.
time.
No one has. No one has.
Oh man, no, that was a good one. So we are now 6-5.
6-5.
6-5. As we kind of alluded to here as we close up, Colby will be here next week.
Yep.
So episode 50 will be Colby. Colby is 1-1 against Spencer, so we'll kind of collude together.
Yeah.
Think of something a little bit. I think we got him very fair last time.
Yeah. If you guys watched that, it was super fair. Guys in the chat knew it.
Immediately. While he's mowing his lawn.
While he's mowing his lawn.
And Colby's
probably
sitting there.
7 beers deep.
Yeah.
And Colby's sitting there not knowing who is in the 10 car right now.
Exactly.
So, that's on him.
So we'll try to make
be a real fan.
We'll try to make it like that again. I want to make it something where the fans the whole time are like, which they probably were for this one too.
They had, dude.
They
They
had to
had to be.
Yeah.
And then you're coming over here with Dale Jarrett.
Yeah,
As a guest.
I just feel I want to go look at how many wins Dale Jarrett has. It's got to be up there. If we have time, just tell me how many. And I feel like he probably won Michigan a lot because he had a Yates motor in. I mean, Dale Jarrett's a champion.
32.
32. Okay.
Yeah.
1999 champion.
1999 champion.
All right.
Yep.
I feel better about myself.
Good. 3-time Daytona 500 winner.
Yeah.
Whoa.
The big Yates motor.
93, 96, 2000.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's close this out. Good episode, man.
That was
great.
great.
I feel great about
yeah.
that. It's about midnight, so we'll just...
When it went to our time. Sorry it's getting out to you a little late. Again, my fault completely. But me and Cole will be back here on Wednesday, so you guys will be able to have Thursday to listen to. So sorry to the people that had to wait one more day for the best show on earth to drop.
That's right.
And
Your
guess what?
favorite NASCAR podcast.
The sweeter things in life you have to have some patience for.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dropping us some wisdom
That's
on the
right.
way out.
That's what you got to do. You got to have some patience for us, and this is the best show ever. So great things to come. Hopefully Austin will be able to make some appearances, but
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes. But y'all keep tuning in. Huge shout out to Kevin Kirkland, Noah Pendry, Ben Burrow.
Yeah.
Appreciate our supporters. We need more names underneath them. But thank all y'all for listening. Thank you, Spencer, for setting the whole thing up. And we'll see y'all next week.
We're in the land of shining coal, back down that valley where the roosters crow.